to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Shut the fuck up, GoBot.
I thought I told you to shut up.
That's the name of my new book, Shut the Fuck Up by Dr. Dennis Leary.
So shut the fuck up. So shut the fuck up. So shut the fuck up.
If you're looking for the hottest podcast in the land, tune in to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Now, here's Chris and Kristyn.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn.
And we're two people who will not shut the fuck up.
Sounds pretty angry in the beginning.
Oh, that is a wonderful... I love putting together these intros, but this particular intro has a special place in my heart. Okay, so I have all those clips, but over the old Limp Bizkit song, In Together Now, you hear that other voice going, shut the fuck up. Go back and listen to it again. That is Alton Brown of Good Eats on the Food Network, and he has a couple other shows.
Yeah.
But long story short, he's a genius. He's a really, really smart guy, and I'm not going to lie, I've been listening a lot to... the Nerdist podcast, with Chris Hardwick's
the old singled out.
The old singled out host. And, I'll be honest with you, I am really envious of, the guests that he pulls in. I mean, we're still new and, this podcast, I always
legit
said...
names like Joan Rivers.
Yeah, what happened was I just came back from New York City. Take a shot, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah.
And I've been filling up... I have a old 160 gig iPod. And it's not that it's old, but compared to the newer iPod today, it looks ancient. It looks huge and bulky, but...
Was it the first iPod?
No, it's not. No, not the first iPod.
The first iPod looks bulky and stuff, and it was oh.
Yeah,
I
knew
back in the day,
kid
it was so cool.
with the 4 buttons across.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a dial wheel. And
Losers.
Well, I knew a kid who used to still rock his old iPod as a goof, with still had the green screen, the LCD. So
Piece of shit.
I was, I know it's hard to tell, but I was actually kind of cleaning my room because my room's a mess. But I found my old 160 gig iPod because I said, it's a 6-hour drive to New York City. So I was filling it up with podcasts. And of course, syncing up to iTunes, I have our podcast. And it just feels so weird, to look down on my screen and see our logo and stuff like that. It feels cool. It makes it feel official.
We're actually established.
And, so, I mean, of course, I've heard our podcast a million fucking times, but, I've been listening to the Nerdist podcast, and they have, genuinely interesting people. Just recently I've listened to, Joan Rivers and, John Kricfalusi, which is the guy who developed, Ren and Stimpy.
Right.
And
Don't whiz on the electric fence.
And this particular episode that I got this sample from was the Alton Brown episode. Mm-hmm. And I've always respected him. Like I mentioned before, my ex-wife was a chef, so she used to watch a lot of Food Network when she came home.
Right.
And I used to watch right along with her because Alton Brown's show, it's not your typical cooking show. It's very scientific and, it brings you back. It brings you back to being a kid watching Mr. Wizard or Beekman's World or Bill Nye the Science Guy.
A little nerdy.
Yeah, there's more science than there is. It's more like a science show than a cooking show.
Cooking, yeah.
And and he'll explain caramelization. You know what I'm saying? And go into it.
Oh, I just thought it was this.
And as we're removing the water molecules,
yeah.
It's so. But it's to me, it's interesting as hell. So he's interviewing Alton Brown, Chris Hardwick. Now, Chris Hardwick's 2 sidekicks, or I like to call them lackeys, or whatever you want to call them, are Jonah Ray and Matt Mira.
Chris might have tweeted some love to them.
Oh, Matt Mira has officially blocked me.
Aww.
Just
because that one time you tweeted, or did you go beyond the one time?
To be honest, I don't know when he blocked me, but I went to go check something out, and it says, you're not authorized to read his tweets.
You piss people off, Chris.
And that was from my personal Twitter account, and then I signed back on with the show's Twitter account, at Comic Metal Games, but I use it, but I don't really use it, but I signed on, and with that wasn't blocked. Ooh. I could easily see Matt Mira's tweets, but he blocked me.
You're pissing people off.
And because, I hate to say it, but, he's a lackey of Chris Hardwick's, and I like Chris Hardwick. I think he's funny, I think he's smart, and Jonah Ray just sits there not Joe. Well, no, Jonah Ray too, but Matt Mira. Like he's a lackey. Every job that he's had so far is like because of Chris Hardwick. I mean, that bong means technical difficulties.
What do you know?
I apologize, people. We're going to start a Kickstarter and get a new laptop. But this technical difficulty is brought to you by RockCon. RockCon as in Rochester Convention. You can look up the website, RochesterSci-FiAnimeCon.com, or you could just Google RockCon 2012. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 21st, the 22nd, and 23rd of September, up here in Rochester at the
Armory.
900 East Main Street, the Main Street Armory. Friday, the hours are 5 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. And Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. RockCon, Main Street Armory, here in Rochester. Once again, we're not getting paid for these plugs. We're just looking out for friends of ours. I'm going to see if I can get there.
You would.
If I could get a press pass, a free press pass, that'd be awesome. I got to call some people. I think I may know one of the organizers, but
Alton Brown.
Alton Brown. Let me tell you, this technical difficulty. I was in the middle of a good flow against Matt Mira, who irritates me.
And he's in the intro. That's where it came from.
Alton Brown's in the intro.
The fuck up.
And Matt Mira, every job that Matt Mira has is because of Chris Hardwick, or at least everything he's done recently. He has a podcast. He has a podcast of his own with Scott Mosier, who is Kevin Smith's sidekick.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to say sidekick, because Scott Mosier is extremely talented and funny, but he's very low key.
Okay.
But Matt Mira has a podcast with him. Matt Mira does they call it gadget porn, like gadget porn, on the G4 Network's Attack of the Show, which was Chris Hardwick's old job. And then he's Chris Hardwick's sidekick or crony on the podcast. And he used to be a Mac, the people who worked in the iStore, Mac
was the
genius.
Tech guy, right?
And he
was the Nerdist at Mac.
Yeah, he was the Nerdist there. And he's always so sour and mean and snarky. And, you know, it's funny
That's how those computer people are.
Yeah. Now, I love it how he can be a bully, yet I send a couple rude tweets to him, and he blocks me.
What a pussy.
I don't think... I'm rude online. I mean, I'm rude...
You hide behind the computer screen, don't you, Chris?
I'm rude in the podcast, but I don't think I'm mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that I get angry at, I can justify. But he's just... He's mean to be mean. Now, first, you know, you got a job reviewing technology.
Yeah.
On G4. Once again, you know, he inherited it from Chris Hardwick.
It all comes back to one person, Chris Hardwick.
I don't care.
What is
I don't care if you're getting paid nothing.
Yeah.
I would do that for free.
And that's the thing. He loves technology.
Yeah, to get your hands on all these new toys.
Things and play and review it.
Yeah, because I watch G4. I watch Attack of the Show, and he's like, oh, you know, there's more features, but I didn't get to them. And that shit.
So what? You fell asleep?
Like, it's your one job is to review.
You got busy.
This technology, but you didn't push it to the limits or whatever.
So now you're reviewing it, but
or at the very least, if that's the case, don't bring up the fact that you didn't feel like getting to it.
That was like if I was a movie, reviewer. I got through half of it, but I got busy and didn't finish it. So I can't tell you how it ended.
And there are people who don't review movies
the whole thing,
who talk about movies, but
great.
and they've never seen it.
Yeah,
and
that's not really doing your job.
Like if it wasn't for Chris Hardwick, I mean, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess if it makes Chris Hardwick happy, or everybody needs their support team or whatever. So I guess he's a necessary evil, but he irritates the shit out of me.
Maybe that's the point. Like, they have to have one person who irritates somebody and causes a little controversy.
Yeah, like Chris Hardwick is like the straight man.
Yeah,
like,
and then here's the dick.
And here's the...
Makes Chris Hardwick look good. So I'd keep him around, too, if I was Chris. It makes Chris look good.
And,
That's why you're around. You make me, you're a dick and I look nice.
Yeah, he recently, after Michael Clark Duncan's death, his first... And he tweeted this. He goes, oh, Michael Clark Duncan's dead. My life won't change in any way, and then not just one bit.
So now you're just being an ass.
Yeah, like, you're being an ass. Like, dick. It's stuff like that.
And you took the time to, like, type it out. You know, it's not like it just came out of your mouth and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. He goes, my life literally has not changed one bit. And it's like little snarky,
just to be
unnecessary comments like that, which, you know, and it's funny because I shouldn't be wasting this much time talking about it.
Yeah, would you get to Alton Brown?
No, but I'm just saying is that, so, Alton Brown, who also, first and foremost hosts his show, Good Eats, also had a gig on the American version of Iron Chef. Mm-hmm. You know, and as in the podcast, he would say that the night before, he would have to come in and get a list of all the chef's ingredients. Now, there's 3 different chefs, and all those ingredients, and obviously these are all professionals, so they're going to throw in something odd. You know, it's not just flour and eggs. You know, it's always something new and exotic. And so he has to study up on everything they're going to bring, because part of the show's process is all the chefs have to divulge what they're going to use. Yeah. There's no surprises. And there's nothing illegal. There was a story where he said someone was planning to put marijuana in something with the producers. He said it was a well-named chef, and I would love to know who it is.
It's probably like Emerald or something.
Or who's like a Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
I think Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay's definitely smoking some.
You know, Bobby Flay he's a very intense guy, so he probably has to mellow out.
Yeah.
But
smoke some weed, bake a cake. Nice
so
job.
Alton Brown was talking about how he has to come in and do his homework and all this other stuff.
Yeah, on the ingredients.
And Matt
does his job.
Yeah.
Right.
Matt Mira started busting his chops about that he had these old Macintosh monitors that were old. And first and foremost, you know, this show is Iron Chef America is kind of old now.
Yeah.
You know, and he's busting his chops, because like I said, Matt Mira used to work in the Apple store. Mm. So Alton Brown just says, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And which is...
You want to talk about monitors? Like...
Yeah. You're busting his chops. This guy does research, actually
does his job.
Yeah, is a personality and doesn't have to resort to being snarky and rude to be entertaining. He's very, very smart. And, you know...
And like a cool guy, like
and
to
cool.
Get him to that level.
He didn't need his friend to get him a job in
right?
entertainment. And so when Alton Brown said "shut the fuck up," it was so beautiful and cathartic, and it
Did
just
he
made
say it only like once, or was it like
he just no? He said "shut the fuck up," and I don't have the rest of the clip. And I guess if people want to hear the whole episode, it's the Alton Brown episode of the Nerdist. And but of course, finish listening to our episode first.
Well, of course.
But it's like, you know, for a guy that's so cool and chilled out, to get pushed to the point of saying, shut the fuck up. And you know, really I think he tried to play it off like being cool about it, but...
Because after he said it, he was probably like, okay, like, take it back.
You don't, you know, for you to push somebody to lose their cool, you know...
That's like...
Who's notoriously like a nice guy.
It's like Paul Rudd. I feel like he's like a nice guy. Like, you can't see him being like, fuck you. Like, you push him
how much of a dick, how much of a no talent
and you're not even like a big person,
have to be,
you know, like
to piss off somebody who's so cool. And that's the whole thing, is that you're meeting all these people, you know, because of his job with Chris Hardwick. You're meeting these people who,
you know what? Today's game is... Every time you hear the name Chris Hardwick, take a shot.
All right.
No, because it all comes back to him because of this guy.
Yeah, and it's like you're meeting these people. Even if that was the case, who are you to bust his chops about the fucking monitors? Who are you? Who the fuck are you?
So shut the fuck up.
So shut the fuck up. And
so we made it into the intro.
I've wasted 14 minutes talking about Matt Mira. You know,
maybe he'll unblock you now.
Well, he's blocked me. Yeah, so.
We'll get you, Matt. We'll get you on our side.
People could blow up his
Twitter and tweet out Chris Hardwick and say, hey, we talked about Matt Mira for a little bit.
Yeah. And the whole thing is like...
And then you'll get a tweet, shut the fuck up.
And I've busted Jonah Ray's chops online plenty of times. And Jonah Ray hasn't blocked me yet. So I have like an inkling more of respect for him because... You know, Matt Mira blocked me. You know what I'm saying? You could be snarky
like, that was
online.
The first, like, bad tweet Matt Mira's ever gotten.
Yeah.
You know, like, why does he just block everyone who sends him something?
You want to be mean and rude and a bully, but you can't take it, so it's just...
Pussy.
Yeah, it just irritates the shit out of me, so, I think I've wasted enough time, you know, just talking about how I made the intro.
It's like those people that you hate, but you always talk about, like Kim Kardashian. We always bring up and Kanye West.
Right? We seem to mention her every fucking episode, even though she irritates me.
It just happened now. The irritating people always come back to us.
The squeaky wheels get fucking oil, man.
What dicks. You're a wrestler fan, right?
I'm a big wrestling fan.
What about Jerry the King Lawler?
I heard he had a heart attack. Is it anything worse than that?
On the live show.
Oh, okay.
Monday, whatever the show is.
Yeah, it was this past Monday. Because Jerry the King Lawler's been around
forever,
like since the 70s and the early 70s.
Is he the one with like that distinct voice, like ah, you know, or you know, what I'm saying, when he does the announcing, it's like that's him.
Well, he doesn't. Not that he's outrageous, but he's always been known for. He's the color guy. It's him, right? And Jim Ross. Jim Ross is the heavyset guy with the glasses and the cowboy hat.
Okay, yeah.
And Jim Ross is the straight man.
Mm-hmm.
He's the he's like the technical guy. And Jerry the King is the color commentator. Okay, he's the one that makes you laugh and
I know. Like he has that voice. Like you just know.
Yeah, who he is. And like he's always known because Jerry the King, just a couple years ago, he was dating this wrestler called The Cat. Her nickname was The Cat. But I mean, the girl had to be maybe 23, 24.
Go
like
Jerry.
A lot. Yeah, it was.
Meow.
Yeah, and they had a little storyline where they actually brought up their relationship. But, he's and I don't think he's married, but he's a pussy hound. He's Jerry
the King.
He's Jerry the King. And, he's
a pussy hound.
He's a pussy hound, and I say that.
And he went after
with
the cat.
Every bit of ounce of respect.
Yeah, he went after the cat. He's surrounded by these gorgeous women in this great physique, and he's the king, and he's gonna slay them.
Yeah, he's the king.
So
get well soon.
I guess
I've always liked Jerry the King Lawler. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm a little, as much as I'm the older guy on this show.
Yeah.
His prime of his career was actually a little before my time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was big, and even if you ever seen the movie The Man in the Moon?
I was gonna say didn't he wrestle Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman, yeah.
Andy Kaufman.
Kaufman. Oh yeah.
Andy.
And
right, yeah, he wrestled him like it was a
and it was
gig.
I think it started out for real. I think
because
Andy Kaufman was known for big making pranks, long going,
ongoing.
People feel that Andy Kaufman's still alive, and he faked his death. I think in the very beginning, and you want to call me a sucker for believing it, I think he slapped Jerry the King or something like that.
I don't know. I just
something
know
to that effect. And Jerry the King got really pissed, but then kind of
after a while,
was brought in on the joke, But and when I say pussy hound, I mean more power too, because he's from back in the day before WWF became
all those big things. Yeah.
It was all territories. If you want to wrestle, the South had a couple territories up north. Ohio has like a big, huge wrestling scene, and Vince McMahon was the one that kind of unified them all.
Yeah, oh cool.
And so Jerry the King was wrestling back when it was
just territories.
Was
he in Ohio?
And I'm pretty sure he wrestled in, like you mentioned, like you just said, more like a joke, but it's true. Ohio is like a wrestling mecca.
Big,
and, but he was more from the South. And, do you remember there was a wrestler called Honky Tonk Man? Kind of had an Elvis persona. Because the Honky Tonk Man is Jerry the King's cousin in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he kind of has he has a big pompadour and he wears the Elvis jumpsuit and stuff like that.
That's funny.
But they're cousins in real life, and Jerry the King, and once again, back in the day, shaped the way men are shaped. Men aren't shaped like big V's and big arms. He has a gut on him, but he's still a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you watch these, strong men competitions, there's no guys that have big chests. It's always guys with, a beer gut.
Just a beer gut, just Wah!
Yeah, so Jerry the King is one of those dudes.
Just pulling a truck. I feel like it's more anger that's really driving them. They're just mad.
And that's the way a real man is shaped. Real men have guts. Real women have curves, men have curves too. Real men have beer bellies.
Real men have curves.
And so Jerry the King, get well soon.
Yeah.
Him and Jim Ross as commentators,
that's for a long time.
Because back in the day, it was, not back when I was growing up, it was Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon.
These names are hysterical.
Yeah, and Gorilla Monsoon was the straight guy.
Oh, and
the really knowledgeable,
describing
each move, and you put him in the chicken wing and the half.
Here he goes!
And Bobby the Brain Heenan was the color commentary guy, and Jerry the King was known because Jerry, being a pussy hound, he likes screaming puppies, like as in referring to women's tits.
Oh,
the puppies. So
puppies.
Yeah, I
you
forgot.
Go, Jerry.
It might have been Trish Stratus who was the first one that used it. Trish Stratus was
She's a blonde, right?
She was a fitness model.
Yeah.
But now she actually trains like all the women, female wrestlers, and Trish Stratus was always Trish Stratus was the one that trained Snooki. So I think it was Trish Stratus the first one to have like. For the king to refer to her tits as the puppies. Oh, the puppies are loose or something like that. And so whenever I hear puppies, even when it's in like the innocent way.
Like, oh, look at this little puppy.
I think of Jerry the King Lawler.
Way to go, Jerry. Way to ruin puppies for me.
And there was, years ago, there was a movie called Ready to Rumble with...
I've seen it with David Arquette.
And
what the hell's his name?
Oh, his
He's on a Y-5-0 right now,
yeah. James Caan.
James Caan. Yeah.
Is it James Caan? Oh, it's James Caan's son. Scott Caan.
Scott Caan. James Caan is the dad.
Yes, Scott Caan and David Arquette.
It's actually a funny movie.
It is. I love that movie.
And then the pussy, they're like the diamond or whatever.
Which is...
And they're like upside down is a pussy.
Yeah, because there was a real guy who made that sign, Diamond Dallas Page. So they said a diamond upside down is a pussy. And actually, that's one of the sound clips I want to get for the show, is... in the beginning when David Arquette screams, "Wrestling's not fair!"
Yeah, that's so serious.
And the whole movie, they're
go
following a wrestler called The King.
Yeah. What's his name? He's so gross.
I forgot the name of the actor, but for all intents and purposes, that was Jerry the King Lawler. That time,
that's his biography.
Yeah, that movie was a promotional tool for WCW.
Okay.
Jerry the King was in WWF, or WWE, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever they call it now.
But pretty much that whole movie, that whole character
was...
And they called him the King.
The King.
And, he was a guy from the South. And
now he's kind of like... he was like kind of like washed up there like at the end. Like a bit of a
washed up guy. And so...
But you're the
there's
King.
A movie. He had a movie. So Man in the Moon and Ready to Rumble.
Jimmy King was Oliver Platt.
Oliver Platt, yeah. Jimmy the King. I will rule you! So... Jerry the King has definitely made his impact, and I hope he gets better, because he's just, he's a funny fucking guy.
It happened during the live show, and then I guess they kind of just went back and I think the CPR was done. I don't know exactly if that was true, but they're trying to
it's a live show. These guys perform.
So he got like a balloon in there and a stent or whatever stent. And then, but they say everything's good now.
Yeah. And just life on the road, I mean, these guys, and no way am I indicating, like, drug use or anything like that, but just life on the road in general.
Style.
You're always on a plane. You're always in some fucking unknown hotel. Then you gotta go sit in the arena for hours. You're eating junk food all the time.
Exactly. You're not living the healthy life. Therefore, he's got that king belly. The king belly.
Then when the time comes on, for those 2 hours, you have to be intense.
You have to be pumped,
You got hundreds of thousands of people.
It's like our show, when the mics are on, we gotta be intense.
I listen to other podcasts. I listen to other podcasts where people are like...
There's gonna be an episode where I gotta give you, like, CPR or something.
Oh, shit, all this fucking coffee I'm drinking, I have
Chris,
like this
don't
mug.
die on me now.
And you're an EMT now, so
I might just freak out, and I'll be like, I can't turn it off, everybody's gonna hear us. Oh, God, we can't do a live show.
We can't do...
Yeah, it's gonna happen during a live show.
This computer doesn't fail.
You're gonna be Jerry the King. All right, no, that's not happening.
You can. I'll put my faith in you. I think you're gonna save my life if
right.
You get
perfect. And then I'll be on the news, and then I can promote the show, and then we take off.
I've had to give CPR to somebody, and
I have yet to.
I saved the life.
They live after?
Yeah. Because I know the person.
Okay.
And so I've given someone CPR, and you know what it is.
And
I'm not in shape. Obviously I'm a big guy, but
it's the whole point.
Especially maybe because this is someone I knew and I cared about.
That adrenaline sort of.
Your adrenaline kicks in, because if you try to, like right now, if I get on my knees and I try to do the stupid dummy, you get out of breath and you're sweating. When you're in the real situation, your adrenaline kicks in.
That whole other. They call it the fight or flight.
The fight or flight. And I'll be honest with you, I held it up until...
The whole point is to not stop.
Yeah. And
to keep it going, not take a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, during that time, your adrenaline's going. Then, like, probably afterwards, you're probably like, I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, and it was someone I knew, so after everything was done, I had to go to the hospital to follow the
Did you
ambulance to the
feel,
hospital.
because I've yet to do it, and they say, like, as soon as you start doing it, you're going to feel, like, cartilage, and, like, kind of like the ribs kind of break. You're going to feel like that. Don't get discouraged.
When I did my, my EMT training back in 96,
they probably don't even do anything that you learned. Probably outruled it all.
Well, when I remember, I was part of you getting certified was you had to work in the emergency room, and I was dealing with firefighters.
I still do that.
And the guys basically said, it isn't CPR until you break a rib.
Right.
You know.
They're like, you're going to feel it, don't stop, keep going.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point.
And
they'd rather you break a rib and live than...
Yeah, the person I was taking care of was thin, so I was able to... I knew exactly where the breastbone was. Like, it was very easy to find. I just feel bad, on a big guy. Like, on me, how the hell are you going to find my breastbone?
I'll jump on you, Chris. I'll just...
Hey, if it saves my life, jump on me. Hey, do what you gotta fucking
trampoline. Now, did you see... I didn't really look into it. I only read a few things, but the new iPhone was revealed. iPhone 5.
The new iPhone was revealed,
is it going to be the same shit? You know how they add like one or two things?
Yeah. I mean, I've gone through this before. I love my MacBook for a computer, but I like my Android phone, so I
enjoy mine too.
I haven't really looked into the iPhone 5.
I just saw like they revealed it and it was like it's of course thinner, sleeker.
Yeah.
And like the screen's supposed to be a little big where there's like an extra row of icons could fit. Who gives a shit?
I mean, there's
those
like people who want to have the new toys. And,
like, what a waste of money.
And honestly, I just have my Samsung phone, which is stolen from Apple
anyway. There we go.
So,
we'll take it.
And look, like I said before, Samsung is dead to rights. Samsung is fucking guilty as hell. But you know what? I love my Samsung phone.
It does the same shit, but I'm like, it's going to be, more expensive because it's got, whatever, one or two better functions, and then you got to get more accessories with it. That whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's supposed to have a longer battery life.
Now, I don't know if this was speculation, but if this is true, the part where you plug in, I heard it's a whole new type of plug.
Like you can't fit your old one in?
You can't fit your old plug. Now,
Which is genius on Apple's part, but, to do something new.
iPod, it's always been that same strip.
That plug, yeah.
And... I could plug in any iPhone, any iPod,
so now they're going to do the whole thing.
Now, if I understand this correctly, and I may have my facts wrong, I think it's a whole new...
Wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't.
So you have to start from scratch.
Right.
You can't retrofit anything.
Why don't they wait, I feel like, when was the last one that came out? The iPhone 4S?
The iPhone 4S was the last one, yeah.
And they were comparing the 4S to the 4?
Yeah.
And they're like, it's the same thing. Like,
that's
if
why
you
they
saw
called
it from
it
a distance,
4S.
Yeah, like, you wouldn't know. So it's like, why don't you wait, 2 years, get a kind of brand new format instead of every 6 months. I feel like there's a new one. I mean, it's a money making thing.
There are people who treat Mac like a fucking religion, and like I said, I'm not. I still have my old iPod. I use my MacBook Pro. I'm happy with my Apple products,
right?
But there's people who treat it like a religion.
The new one's coming out. It's all back order. Everybody's ordering it online.
Yeah, it's all back ordered. You can't find it. And whatever happened to, the iPhone 4S was a year ago.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't they wait 2 years, come up with something real new, instead of something that can fit an extra row of icons?
Yeah, it's, much as, I'm a technology kind of guy, I like it, but when you're playing this bullshit, Keep Up with the Joneses bullshit, it gets frustrating, and it's I don't have that kind of money to waste on.
If I had the money to waste, maybe I would be into it, but I don't think most Americans do have the money to waste.
Yeah, it's and these people who treat Apple like a religion, you know what I'm saying, and they have to have the new stuff. I mean, what's wrong with my old iPod?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong.
Okay,
it doesn't have a touch screen.
Right.
Big fucking deal. It plays.
I have the very first iPad. I have yet to, how many have there been since?
No, there's the iPad 2, but I think they're coming out...
They're coming out with another one.
With a third one that's supposed to be smaller.
One, and, I'm okay with my first one. It does everything I needed to do.
But...
And it's still holding up.
It's great marketing.
Oh, my God.
Great marketing.
And just the fact that I wouldn't be surprised if they got the new plug, just because...
I'm pretty sure it's a new plug, because that's what I heard through the...
It's supposed to be new battery life? Is that what they're saying?
The device has great... even my MacBook Pro has great battery life. My fucking iPod... maybe it's because I'm not
My iPod is
shuffling
great.
through songs,
Yeah.
but I could listen like the whole 6 hours
Yep,
in my car without having to charge it.
That's what I used to do for when I used to go back and forth to school. It was like plug in the iPod, that went the whole way. Didn't die. And if it did die, just because, I had a low battery, like I could plug it into the
cigarette lighter, yeah.
Yeah, like that worked out for me.
And so, I don't know. I guess people are excited.
I hate the whole iPhone reveal thing. I like Mac products, but the whole iPhone where you come out with a new one every 6 months to a year and it's the same thing.
And then they have...
I don't like that whole part of it.
You sign a 2-year contract.
Right.
And then they have products coming out every
one.
year. I guess...
Cut it out, Mac. It's only the iPhone, though.
In a couple years it'll be something... It'll be a new Apple product.
The flip phone.
Because now that Steve Jobs is gone, there isn't like that one figurehead to keep everything in line. They're going to come out with some outlandish shit. It's going to be like... the eye, whatever.
What do you think will be next?
The eye shine or something like that. Where it's like
it's
like the shape of a pen.
Yeah.
And it projects light on everything. The screen projects light on your desk.
Or it's a flashlight.
And you tap on the desk and where you put your fingers, it recognizes your fingers instead of like a touch screen, but it makes any surface a touch screen. And the phones are going to get small again.
Yeah.
The phones are going to get small again. The phones are going to get thin like a pen.
They're going to be like a Bluetooth.
Like a Bluetooth,
It's just embedded in your ear.
And then it projects onto a flat surface, but it also recognizes your fingers. Where the fingers go on the projection.
This is the future. You heard it here first.
Yeah. The eye gleam.
The eye gleam.
Yeah. The eye shine. Or whatever. The eye light. Oh my god. Eye light. Why not? Sounds like highlight.
I know. Here we go. Patent it, Chris. What else is new? Oh, I just read that for us being a little bigger and we like maybe some supersize stuff, the New York City, they just passed that.
They just
rule for, I think it's
Mayor Bloomberg.
The big sugary drinks they
Yeah, you can't buy like an extra large soda
I think
or large.
16 ounce is the limit.
Yeah. Diet soda, I think you could get tons of. But anything
do what you want.
Regular sugar.
That's it. Sorry, New York City. Won't be seeing big gulps walking around anymore.
I'm pretty sure our listeners are sick and tired of hearing me talk about New York City, and But I just I just came back and I got a parking ticket in a place that was always legal parking, but they said I was too close to a hydrant, and
they're cracking down on you, Chris. They saw you.
Disgusted, long story short, I helped my uncle out with some stuff. He helped me out. He gave me $100. I'm broke. I don't have any money. My uncle gave me $100. Now I have a $65 parking ticket. So I only came ahead for $40. And New York City's going to have to wait because they're not going to come and put a boot on my car. So they'll just have to make the money. I went to my jury duty thing, and no big surprise. I got there at a good time. There was no waiting in line through the metal detector. The courthouse in Manhattan is fucking gorgeous, man. So it's like that old school. You look up in the ceiling, it looks like you're inside it looks like you're almost in like a temple, like like the painted ceilings, and it's like
cool. Really high.
I want to say it's like, I think it's Roman mythology. I'm not sure, but I mean,
don't get it wrong.
Because it's got the big columns out in front,
cool.
stuff like that. The courthouse is such a beautiful, beautiful building, and and I was there the day after 9/11. Like I was in New York City for 9/11, and
I watched like a documentary. I had to work that night, so I didn't see how they have the films and stuff out. So I didn't see a lot of stories, but I saw like the making of the, what do they call it? Like the 9/11 memorial?
Oh, okay.
Is that what they just call it?
I don't know if
it's
the memorial.
Because I went there last year, and it's like the two waterfalls where, where the towers are, and it was really like quiet and peaceful. Like it looks like a park. There's all these trees, and then there's right where the towers are, these waterfalls with the names all around. Yeah. And I didn't realize it, but I saw on the documentary how they made it. Mm-hmm. But where it's not like just random names are put in different places. It's like if you worked in the North Tower, like your name is on the North one. And then like if whatever plane you were on and where it hit, you were on the North or the South. And then I don't know how they figured it out, but like the firefighters, if they went into the North, like it was all just grouped nicely. It wasn't just random.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. And they also put like the, when was that bombing in the 90s? The first attack?
It was 93.
Yeah, like they put their names on it too. It was really interesting. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. Like they actually grouped it nicely.
Yeah, I knew there was a guy that actually survived the bombing.
Was it the one that
his friend passed away? His friend passed away right in front of him from the explosion, and he was the
from
father...
9/11 or the
from the
90,
one in 93.
I
believe it was 93. Where he and he was the father of a girl my friend used to date.
Oh my God. It all comes back to that.
But he was, he had to go on disability because he was fucked up from it. He was on Xanax and a nice guy. Because I remember going to the house and, he was just fucked up in the whole situation. Now, the one thing that kind of got me upset, obviously this is a touchy situation, but, they had the 9/11 ceremony. There were people there and the reading of the names.
And this time it was just the family.
And this year they said no politician showed up. And, I don't know how to feel about that because I'm angry. Because, one, it makes me feel like the politicians feel that it's not important.
Well, they did their own thing. Like, Obama was in Washington. He did
that's
that
what
one.
I'm talking about.
The Pentagon?
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if they feel that it's not important enough to go.
Right.
Or if they do want to give their respect and not show up, like, okay, it's not about me and my politics, it's about, well, then they should have never fucking showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then they should have never, it should have always been about the family.
Like, this year, I don't know why, like, out of all the years, like, they did it that way.
Yeah, like...
Maybe they were just sick of it from the years before.
That's the whole thing, is that, like, what? Because it's not a year divisible by 5? Like, last year was the 10-year anniversary, now it's the 11-year anniversary.
Yeah, I wonder why that was.
It's, quote-unquote, not special.
Right.
The whole thing about that just irritates me, because I don't know...
I kind of like that it was just the family, but I don't know why they just changed it. It should have always been about the families, and like never about a politician. I don't care what Chuck Schumer has to say about it, But yeah, I like that it should have always just been like, this is closed for the family. And also another thing I thought was crazy, I forget, it costs like a ton of money, but there's these trees in there, and each it's like a big, obviously a pot thing around it, but it's like its own ecosystem. Like, they spend all this money so that, like, nobody has to really take care of them. It does its own water at, like, certain times. And then all these other trees grow from it, so eventually it'll be, like, a big, huge park of just trees kind of thing.
Okay.
But it was crazy just to see, like, how it just dispenses water, it does food and stuff to it. I was like, because it looks just like a regular tree plant. And they're like, no, this is, like, the pot. Costs like millions of dollars. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
it was so crazy. I was like, you can do that? Yeah, that was like the whole thing. Like, life will
go on.
It's like its own ecosystem. It'll die. It'll come back to life. And I was like, wow, that's actually. And I just thought I was looking at trees.
Have you ever seen? I think it was a Discovery Channel that had Life After Humans or Earth After Humans or something like that.
No, it
was a whole documentary where scientists were speculating, like, if the whole human race was eliminated tomorrow, what would happen to nature? And would buildings get overgrown with
probably
trees and
the old forest or something?
Yeah, and it was, and
it would look pretty.
And they had these like really, the computer generated like, United Nations covered in moss and ivy and shit like that. And, like
all these animals just roaming free,
wolves running the streets in Manhattan and stuff like that. It was pretty fucking badass. And we're so egotistical that we keep thinking of Earth with humans, but if something happened
and just human race was
life is still going to move on. There's still microorganisms at the bottom of the ocean that are doing just fine.
They are loving life, and they are going to take over one of these
the dinosaurs. They had it. The dinosaurs thought they had it good too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They thought they were the only ones living here. Dun dun dun.
And so,
what's going to be coming next for us
now? Me being in New York the past week or so.
Shot it.
I learned that our hosting site, Podomatic, can automatically release episodes.
Like,
I mean, you have to set it up,
and then it'll come out on that date. Like,
I could have it come out,
and it'll do it on its
Monday
own.
at midnight and Tuesday.
Oh, cool!
So that's what I did this week. I mean, I uploaded the episodes and
thanks,
I had them come out.
Podomatic. That's cool.
So the only thing I had to do was from my phone, just put it up on our Facebook page. New episodes out. But how creepy would that be, like, if I set up a whole bunch of episodes and, like, God forbid something happened to me or happened to us or something?
It just keeps coming out.
And there's still episodes coming out.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh, Chris from the dead.
A podcast from the Beyond the Grave or the Beyond. That would be
hello, it's Chris.
It's Chris. Fucking, my family's crying and shit.
Jeez.
But,
I know you just set up the future, like all these multiple episodes.
Yeah.
We can't get Chris to shut up.
After, as long as, like, right now we pay for 2 gigs, so I can, like, fill that all up.
Here we go. This is it. We live on.
And
you can't get rid of us, bitches. You can't get rid of us.
Still releasing fucking content even after he's dead. What the fuck?
Look at him go. He was dedicated to this podcast.
And, okay, speaking of dying and death, I came across...
It's so exciting.
I came across this, and once again, listening to other podcasts, and I've mentioned this before,
and,
Neil deGrasse Tyson, the guy who got rid of Pluto.
Well,
not him, but he was part of that movement.
Yeah. Down with Pluto.
Yeah,
I still consider it a planet. Sorry, folks.
He's the curator of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City. Astrophysicist. Like probably one of the top 5 minds of living
astronomy
today.
Or whatever. Can't wait till he's involved in like a sex scandal or something.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
He has his own podcast, and I've mentioned in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm entertained as fuck. So he did. This person tried to come after him, asking him like a religious question.
Okay.
Like how would he feel and all this other stuff. But he has this great quote, which I'm going to read to you right now.
Was this like recently or?
This was about a year ago.
Okay.
And so. They asked him how does he feel about death and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because
speaking of death,
because Neil deGrasse Tyson basically like his spirituality would be like, this is like him talking almost. I'm paraphrasing him. I love talking about the universe so much that it makes me excited and happy and some would even say crazy. He goes, when I talk about the universe, that makes me feel like I'm having a religious experience.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure
awakening.
if you had a thing monitoring the chemicals in my brain, it would be no different than someone having a religious epiphany.
Yeah.
And so, to him, science is his religion.
Okay. Yeah.
And even Stephen Hawking, brilliant physicist or whatever, even he said, for lack of a better term, there is no God.
Yeah.
All these brilliant scientists have looked into it, and they kind of put faith. Their faith is their science.
Science is their religion.
Science is their faith.
Yeah,
and you know what? I'll give you that. Even if you want to say, look, there's this great big complex God that we don't understand, and that God created science. I'll even give you that. Mm-hmm. But it's not this limited religion.
Right.
Where or intelligent intelligent design and all this other nonsense. Mm-hmm. But he had this great quote, and now I'm actually reading the quote. Quote. And this is about dying and death. Okay. I would request that my body in death be buried and not cremated, so that the energy content contained within gets returned to the earth, so that flora and fauna can dine upon it, just as I have dined upon flora and fauna during my lifetime.
Makes sense.
That is fucking awesome. It shows, and I hate to sound corny, the circle of life.
The circle of life.
Saying we eat animals,
and then
plants, and then when we die,
they eat us.
They eat us. And
it's a whole cycle.
Yeah,
it's like a bad habit.
If I had my way, I would just be thrown in the ground. Like I think there's health department rules against just throwing a body in the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe if you own your own property, maybe you could get it done. I don't know, but I would...
No, I'm nervous to look in your backyard and you got buried in there.
No, this is just... Now, don't get me wrong, if it's a suspicious death, fucking call CSI. I want to, if I wasn't supposed to die and I died, you better fucking
I got you,
into
Chris,
it.
I got you.
But if I get hit by a truck or something like that,
who's driving
it's
the
obvious
truck?
how I died. You don't need an autopsy. But if I had my way, just toss my fucking corpse in the ground. I don't feel like there's some sanctity of life. I love my daughter with all my heart and soul. I don't necessarily care if she has to come visit some headstone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not that I want her to have some sort of closure, but shit, she could visit the hole I was thrown in. You know what I'm saying? If you
look at the hole, honey.
Yeah. You could put a marker there,
right.
but
That's
don't put me in a box.
Yeah.
And then they actually go through effort to make the box airtight, or even though the boxes aren't airtight because they all cough. Pretty much every coffin, all that dirt that goes on top of it makes the coffin warp anyway. Mm-hmm. But everyone thinks like it's like this wonderful, perfect little box you're on. No, when you put 6 pounds of dirt, 6 feet worth of dirt on top of anything, unless it's like super reinforced, it's gonna warp.
And my whole thing is, after you're kind of pass, you're not in that body anymore.
Yeah, even if you have a spirituality, your spirit
kind
is
of
part of...
just a representative of you, sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
For the time being on life. It's moved on.
Who cares about... It's a meat sack.
Yeah, it's moved on, and now this is like this lifeless
even for
thing.
people who do have their spirituality, I'll even put myself in a mindset. You don't need your body. What the fuck do you need your body? Now, don't desecrate my body. Don't
Chris,
fucking... I
I'm
don't want no necrophilia fucking me in the ass
you.
while I'm dead. That's a little
I'm going to be like, well, Chris wanted us to do whatever we wanted with this
no,
body.
don't do whatever you want. But I'd rather... Let a raccoon eat my fucking eyeballs. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
fill me with formaldehyde.
Right.
Because they take all your guts, and what do they do with the guts? They put it in with the biohazard garbage.
Yeah.
So for people who believe in this sanctity of fucking life or sanctity
my
of
whole
a body,
thing is I think you moved on. The body is
your guts.
That's it.
Get thrown into biohazard trash.
Mm-hmm.
And then they preserve your body. Why? So your family could come see you. All the hypocrites can cry over you,
right.
And then they eventually put you in the ground. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like. If you want to put a
it's
marker...
More of if they really thought about it, it's more of just a symbolic
it's for the
thing.
living. It's to give closure to the living.
Right.
But if
I
had it my way...
I guess, yeah.
Dig a fucking hole, throw me in the ground. You know what? Plant a fucking seed in my ass. You know those little...
There's a big ass tree coming out of it.
Those seedling trees that they kind of have like that little ball?
Take
Take my body and wrap it around the bottom of a tree. And come visit the tree. You want to come visit me?
The tree of life.
Yeah.
The tree of Chris.
Look at that giant tree. There's Chris.
That's Mr. Cologne over there.
Yeah.
Look, right there.
And
Look
I
at
think
the leaves on that
a tree
bitch.
is more awesome than a fucking headstone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It's like, have you seen that movie, How High? It's such like a bad reference. When they smoke their dead friend.
They smoke their friend, yeah.
And then it gets them into Harvard.
And they use the ashes.
Yeah.
If
you want to be cremated, I'd smoke you. I'd smoke the shit out of you, Chris.
And I think my body's more useful as a meat sack. Like, don't put me with preservatives. Don't put me with... Just dump me in the fucking ground. But, I mean, I know that's not going to happen because there's health department laws and shit. But if I had it my way...
Just dump me in the backyard.
Ground, put a little seedling tree...
Go visit your father, honey.
Wrap my corpse around the bottom of a seedling tree and...
Chris, put that in your will. I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah.
This is what he wanted.
My daughter wants to visit my grave. Come see the tree. Come water the tree every now and then.
Somebody just cut down the tree. We're like, you know what? We need room here.
Sorry,
we
Dad.
need room for a horseshoe game.
The kids need a swimming outside above ground swimming pool.
Sorry, Dad.
Say goodbye to Grandpa, kids.
They're all like screaming and crying. Well, he's got to go, Got to do what we got to do for the pool.
Dad's ghost is in the pool.
Yeah. Creepy.
Why'd you cut down my tree?
Haunts the shit out of him. Chris the tree.
So, and then, I had said, my friend reminded me of a line I used to say a long time ago. I said, I want to go with a smile on my face and a sandwich in my stomach.
That's a good way to go.
Good way to go.
You're satisfied and happy. Don't want to be miserable.
If I die with a sandwich in my stomach, I'll be all right. All right.
There are talks for a number 2. Did I tell you? A Magic Mike.
A Magic Mike 2? Why not?
Why not? That's what I say.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Not my cup of tea, but hey.
Please, you'll get that shit on Blu-ray. Watch it in 3D.
Now,
oh, Christopher.
Have you seen the Abby Brittany show?
The what?
Abby and Brittany, the conjoined twins?
No, I haven't seen it. I didn't know you even said it.
I love that
Is
show.
Is it everything and more that you were waiting
now,
for?
Like I had mentioned in the past, if you're facing them, Abby's to the left and Brittany's to the right.
I love that you know it.
Now, I had mentioned before that I thought Abby was the prettier one.
Yeah. Are you taking it back?
And now I've changed. Well,
because their personalities, or
I've fallen in love with Brittany.
There it is.
The one on the right. If you're facing,
does she have more personality, or
she
what is your
fits
love?
My personality more. Where she's quiet, but you could tell she's the crazier one.
Oh, Chris is into it.
Like Abby's more of like, even like her friend said, more of like the type A personality, get everything done.
It's funny that they have like 2.
Brittany's more of the have fun,
your type of girl,
more outgoing, and let me tell you, and they're 22, so it's totally.
They're 22?
They're 22. Yeah.
I thought they were in like high school.
They just look young for their age.
Yeah.
They're 22.
Wow, I thought they were like 16-year-old girls learning how to drive or something.
Yeah, well, no, they've got their driver's license, and so right now, the first couple episodes, they're in Europe. There's like an episode where they're in England, and
Are they traveling the world?
I think it's just because right now they're about to graduate from college, or maybe they just graduated from college because they're
Where
not in
does it
school.
Take place? Maybe it's like from over the summer or something.
Well, right now it's after they graduated. I forgot they got it. They did get a degree because you do see them walking down the aisle in a cap and gown
this
or
past summer
caps and gown, and
caps and gown.
caps and gown.
It's
and
awful. Where do they live? Do you remember?
Oh, shit. I want to say. I think they live in Utah, and I don't think they're Mormons, but I think they live in some like really Midwestern Bible Belt area.
Abby and Brett.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just take a sip from my coffee. I don't mean to be there.
So now they probably it's probably like over the summer and they get to like travel for whatever.
So
it's like
right
their
now
last hurrah
these episodes, like next week they're in Italy and you see them like riding like a Vespa. And
what do their parents do? Gotta get on board.
I think their mom's with them, but then again, I'm pretty sure TLC is paying for the trip.
Oh yeah, I would hope.
And so they're with their friends. And so then there was another episode where you see them in the house where they live in with their sisters, which I don't know if it's a sorority.
Sisters? Oh,
you know, like not sister. I mean,
not the real
sorority
sisters.
Yeah, I mean, now these are all typical sorority girls.
Do you know what college it is?
I'm pretty sure it's close to home. I wouldn't be
What'd
surprised.
You do, Chris? Just focus on Brittany. Is that one you like?
Brittany, let me tell you, somehow, I haven't looked them up online, but I have such a crush on Brittany, and I'm not even kidding around.
So funny.
Because she seems like she's my type of girl. Because she's quiet, but she's crazy. And I like crazy women. I like, I think she's cute. She's just sweet.
So funny.
It's just like, since they've been living next to each other their whole lives, they complete each other's sentences. And like I said, before I thought Brittany was the more attractive one, but I mean, Abby was more
after watching it.
Brittany won my heart. I think she's adorable. And so they're interviewing
Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay.
Do they have the accent?
No, they don't. They don't.
Their mother is Patty. She is a registered nurse.
And I think the mom
is... the dad's a carpenter and landscaper.
The mom is with them on their trip. And I think they have a friend named Becca, who there's always the sorority girls and then like the cute heavy chick.
Yeah, right?
There's always the
She's like
the fat friend
yeah.
and
the fat friend running around.
And
which makes me think, because all my friends are like real skinny and cute.
Oh shit!
Am I the fat friend?
Oh, I know. With my friends growing up, I was the fat one. I was the comic relief.
Now I gotta rethink.
Because all my close friends were good-looking guys, and I was always the comic relief.
We're the fat friends. Yeah, the comic relief. Everybody
wanted
to hang out with you,
but
nobody wanted to sleep with you.
I could get in front of this mic and talk and have a good time. You put me in front of a girl, you put me in a social situation, I am such a fucking wallflower. I just can't talk. I could blow it up on the fucking podcast.
So if you were in front of Brittany, you would clam up.
I'd probably clam up. Like, hi.
So what's it like?
You listen to my podcast? Yeah, you can hear me tell the world that I love you on the podcast.
Yeah. And listen to how I really feel.
Which I said before, have you listened to that episode with me hosting with Andy?
No, that's your friend, right? The Punk 77?
Punk 77.
No, I didn't listen to it.
I said, I love Kristyn. I love you, Kristyn.
You say it.
I
you
really
preach
do.
it, Chris.
I love you, Kristyn. I'm declaring my love for you right now.
Because you were cheating on me. You felt guilty. That's what happened.
This show would be nothing without you.
It's all about me.
Thank you very much for being on it. And
Chris, it would be nothing without you. You have all the equipment. It would be absolutely nothing without you.
But no one wants to hear me talk for an hour.
Brittany.
So Abby and Brittany, so they interview their sorority sisters.
Their sisters.
And I hate their sorority sisters. I hate them
everybody
all.
hates
because everyone obviously
says... Were they like
says,
preppy and like cute, like that type, or like the sloppy?
No, preppy, very spoiled, sheltered.
See, what's funny is, because that's my whole image of sororities. Now, the school I went to was private and smaller, so the sororities weren't like a huge deal, but there were sororities. And there was one where it was kind of like the nerdy sorority, and then the other two were like the two other big ones. They were the sloppiest, drunkest girls, but also spoiled. I came from rich families, and just messes. Like, whenever they were out, you were just like, oh, how do you get laid? Like, how are you picking up guys? Because you're pretty, but look how you act in public. And, like, that's all my image now is. It's, like, a tainted image of, like, just being gross. And I'm like, not what I thought this was supposed to be. Thank God I didn't join or ever think about it. But I totally could see, like, at the big schools, like, the preppiness.
Yeah, it was all... Now, of course, you know, the one line to interview everybody is, oh, they're just like everybody else. And, okay, how many times can you hear that in an episode? Oh, they're just like everyone else. Yes, they are just like everyone else, except they're not like everybody else.
Except they got two heads.
Yeah.
Two personalities.
Now...
Imagine if one was like a schizo.
They seem like the girls, not Abby and Brittany, the sorority sisters.
The sisters.
If you gave them a fucking ounce of anything for the girls to hate, like if the Abby and Brittany said one nasty thing about them, no,
they
fucking two-headed circus freak bitches. Like you could tell it feels so forced and unoriginal and fake.
Like they didn't want this girl probably in their sorority.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they have fun now because the girls seem like fun.
Yeah.
The show, you know, on the show, and especially Brittany, my new
Your
girlfriend.
My new girlfriend.
My new girlfriend. And of course, they're typical girls, as in these guys show up to a party, and of course it's big, tall, good-looking guy, and you see them both hug them and stuff like that. And
they're getting all the attention.
Yeah, they're...
sorority girls don't like that.
You know, I'm not tall or anything like that, but, you know, you see them throw their arms around this big, tall guy that comes into the room. And,
I wonder if they probably do, like, triple kisses. You know, like, triple kiss! They're all excited.
But, like, the sorority sisters just seem so, like...
envious.
Ready to be catty.
Yeah.
Like, ready to just, like...
Give me something to say.
Give me something to say, bitch, and I'll rip your fucking heads off.
Because they get the attention, that's why.
Yeah. So, I love... And, actually, the episodes... The ones in England are a little different because they're there with their friend, they're there with their mother. I like those. And then they have an episode where they're celebrating their 22nd birthday.
Which you got excited. You're like, shit!
Yeah, they're nice and legal. They've been legal for years now.
Yeah, I totally thought they were like 16. Like when I saw the previews.
Yeah, and it's... Like I said, I totally have a crush on Brittany. You could tell her, you could tweet her or whatever.
This is it. Love in the making.
I don't know if she wants to be with a guy... 13 years older than her? Yeah.
They don't care. Add their ages together.
Doesn't put a number.
Add their ages together. That's
44.
how old they really are. They really are. They're older than you. Alright? I wonder now, like during their menstrual cycle, like if they're extra bitchy.
Oh my god.
You know?
Right? It's like 2 sets of hormones.
Or if it's like 2 weeks they have their periods. Have like a week.
And now, see...
Are you nervous because I'm talking about period? Usually guys get like, oh.
No, I get... Periods to me are... I don't get flustered by that stuff.
So I wonder if it lasts like extra long.
Because...
They get it twice
below
a
the
month.
waist, like...
It's one
they control
organ.
left and right.
Right.
So... What happens when you stimulate
them? The left ovary is,
Like, do they both feel pleasure? If you were...
Yeah, I wonder if one doesn't feel pleasure and the other doesn't. I'd be pissed.
What if one likes penetration and the other one likes clitoral stimulation?
Yeah. Tricky.
It's like,
Tricky.
You know, like, because it's the same set of both, parts. You know? I'm assuming it's wired to make them both feel pleasure.
Right. Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're not fucking robots, Chris.
Well, I'm just saying we're wired. That's you know, some women are wired for one stimulation. Women are wired. Some women like anal sex. Some women don't. You know, it's how you're wired.
Yeah.
You know.
I wonder when those questions are going to be addressed on the TLC channel.
TLC will ever.
It is the learning channel.
You know what's going to happen because, I mean, I'm pretty sure they want to get pregnant. What would happen, you know, I'm pretty sure the baby would have to be monitored and everything like that, but, you know, it is,
what if they can't decide on a name?
Oh my god.
It's like a 2-name baby.
Yeah, how do you know, I guess obviously they would both be the mother, but you don't know whose ovary it came from. You don't know who's...
The right or the left, so that's one...
And what happens...
My baby!
But if it were identical twins, I don't think you do a paternity test on identical twins.
I have no idea, yeah.
I think, like, biologically, identical twins, like, if it was boys...
Yeah.
And you did who's your daddy test.
You use that truck that goes
they
by
would
who's
both,
your daddy?
I think identical twins would both come up as the
Same?
father.
Yeah.
I don't think... Now, fraternal twins, I think, will be...
Because they're a little different.
Yeah, different DNA. But, and, you know, I mean, I know it may sound like... I mean, I'm being a little vulgar, but I'm speaking with pure... curiosity and genuineness. I'm not trying to be rude. And I love Brittany.
Because you love your girl.
I want, you know, if Brittany wants to lower her standards,
give him a call, Briggs. Ready.
Heavy set, tattooed, unemployed podcaster.
There it is. There it is, top of the list. That's what she's been looking for.
I think she's adorable, and I honestly say that with all genuineness in my heart. Because she seems like the fun one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like girls like that. And she's quiet, too.
Could you imagine, like, them fighting? Like, kicking the other one?
Well, what happened was, in the episode coming up, since they have to coordinate their hands, one girl gets cut, and I think there's a little ambiguity where they don't know if it was purposely cut or not. They think one sister hurt the other, and it was crazy. Brittany cutting Abby.
Of course, you like that crazy
which
bitch.
Is, I don't know, I like crazy chicks.
Cuts, I love her.
I like them with a little bit of edge on them. They don't know if it was
purposely done. How awful. There's an investigation.
Because you see them with a knife, you know.
Oh my God.
And they're like cooking something, but then you see Abby is bleeding, and like, I think Brittany stabbed Abby, or cut Abby.
Bitch cut a bitch. Bitch cut her sister. Oh my God, that's awful. But they don't know if it was purposely done.
That's awesome.
That's awful. That's just awful.
So, we are over the hour mark.
The usual.
I certainly... Okay.
Here goes, deep breath. One breath, do it. Boom.
Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. You can visit us at www.twostrangersonepodcast. You can find the links for everything. You can visit our eBay page. I'm back in Rochester, people, so I'm going to put the stuff back up. If you've been going online, recently I've had the stuff down because I haven't been in town and I don't want to sell stuff if I'm not here. But I'm in town now, so visit our eBay page. Get your hands on comic books, video game, heavy metal memorabilia. You can like us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. Hover over the like button and click show in newsfeed. Because unfortunately, only 20% of our audience actually gets all our updates. The two best ways where you can get every single episode is you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Now, that's if you have an iPhone, iPad, iPod, or even if you don't have any mobile devices, you can still subscribe to us on iTunes. It's a totally free download, and you can get every episode of... Oh, look, is that... What's his face?
Channing! The TV's on, and suddenly a warrior came on. Oh, God.
Yeah, I had the TV on and Channing. This movie's called The Eagle. It just started.
Never heard of it. He looks great.
So, once again, iTunes is totally free. Even if you have a Windows machine, you don't need a mobile device. You can find us in the iStore under the podcast section. Search Two Strangers, One Podcast. You can get every single hilarious brand new episode. You can download past episodes. Please feel free. Go back and listen to past episodes. See how, I know it sounds weird, we actually sound better than we did in the past. Or if you have an Android device, because remember, people, our show is mobile. You can download us on your iPod, your iPhone.
Take us on the go.
Take us on the go, because that's how I listen to podcasts while I'm driving. Well, that's part of my, not that I don't commute to work anymore, but you know, when I drive down to New York City, I listen to podcasts. If you have an Android device, any of the Android phones, or for the people who, you know, the Droid.
Stitcher, bitch.
You can download Stitcher, STITCHER. It's an Android app. You can favorite us, and when you favorite us, you get all the new episodes. I believe Stitcher you can get online now, but I think the Stitcher app online only gets like our most recent episodes. And also check out our friends Livin' Lame, LIVIN-Lame. They're also available on iTunes.
West Coast brothers.
And Stitcher. Good friends of the show. They're expanding soon. They're going to have a whole network. Right now they have like 3 shows lined up. A music show, the Fox Den, and then the original Good Old Boys, Livin' Lame. So, I guess that's it. I certainly hope you enjoyed listening to the show as much fun as we had recording it. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn.
Don't be a stranger.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double
it?
Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled COLON.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I got to meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah,
man.
is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will totally read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.